Parshat Mishpatim. And there is a lot to look at in the world when it comes to our hearts and our concern. So let's take everything we've got, everything, and let's learn some Torah. We are focused, of course, on the horrific impact of the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. I am proud that UJA has taken such a robust role supporting our partners on the ground, especially the AFIA Foundation. Some of us are very involved in AFIA, and they are collecting lots of items to send, including items that for my grandmother who died 1 year and 1 day ago, the items that we took care of her with, including walkers and a wheelchair. We're sending them, and in the words of Danielle Boutin, the founder and visionary behind AFIA, she said, in your grandmother's memory, in my grandmother's memory, someone will be able to walk again. And so if you'd like to be part of all that work, I encourage you to go to the UJA homepage or the AFIA Foundation homepage, see how you can be involved and helpful. In addition, the terrorist attack just before Shabbat in Jerusalem was horrific. The stories are very sad, and the work of peace is more urgent. In addition, the powerful protests in Israel happening right now in opposition to the proposed judicial override bill in Knesset. Those protests are incredible. My son is actually in Jerusalem right now and took a video of the protests happening right outside his window. Democracy in Israel is under threat, and democracy in Israel is incredibly robust. To see hundreds of thousands of people protesting every Saturday night and thousands of people in the street today, there's a lot of goodness in the air too, friends. So I hope that you are feeling all of that as we look at this Parsha, because 2 weeks ago we read Parshat Beshalach, the splitting of the sea. Just this past Shabbat, we read the giving of the Torah at Sinai, these peak explosive moments. And then we come to Mishpatim this week. Mishpatim literally means rules. And if you're curious, the next volume of my Torah commentary, the AI Torah commentary that I've been generating with ChatGPT, was just published. You can find it on Amazon. But I wanted to tell you whose voices I channeled as comments on Mishpatim. I channeled the king of Babylonia, Hammurabi, whose code of law is similar to the book of Mishpatim. So too, Clara Lemlich, who was a labor organizer after the shirtwaist factory fire in the early 1900s, and in the style of John Jay, who was the first Supreme Court Chief Justice. It is very strange to see the AI's version of these voices reflecting on a Parsha that they probably didn't spend much time with, certainly not Hammurabi, because he came first. But let me use everything that I've just poured out, the incredible needs of our world today, the strangeness of an AI commentary, and the journey from the big moments of the splitting of the sea and Sinai to Mishpatim laws. I want to use all of this to point out that to go from these dramatic moments to the mundane laws of Mishpatim about how to create a civic society might sound strange. How can you go from all of these huge things and then deal with that? And the answer is, the only way to deal with those huge things, the big climactic moments where the world feels trembly, as it did at Sinai and as it did at the Red Sea. The only way to transition from a mentality of generations of slavery to freedom, the only way to become a people, to build a beloved community, to be a just society, is with the details. Now, over the course of this week, we're going to look at some of those rules. Some of them are going to be very strange for us to examine, including the idea of slavery that is part of Israelite society. The very first rule is about when you acquire a slave, and we'll talk about that. I'm not sure how to deal with it emotionally, but I can talk to you about it ideologically. What's really important is that after all of the big moments that we have been through, the Torah offers us the how-to of life. And friends, I imagine that the big moments that we have been through as a globe, that you have been through as an individual, that we've been through as a Jewish community, we'll have more big moments. That's how life is. Let's see if we'll be able to prepare just a little bit better by stepping one step at a time. One step at a time, figuring out one how-to at a time, one rule, so that we can face the world. Because the only way to face the world really is step by step. To go from the splitting of the sea to standing at Sinai, to figuring out the rules of life, actually it feels a little bit calming. I can deal with a checklist. I don't know how to confront a mountain on fire. I don't know how to deal with a sea that splits. I don't know how to deal with the trauma of having been a slave with my family's ancestors for 290 years. I don't know how to deal with that stuff. But I can figure out a zoning code. I can figure out the boundaries of human interaction. I can work on that. And it's a gift, friends, to go from those big moments to one how-to at a time. May you feel that the challenges before you are more manageable because you took them one at a time. And the more we accumulate of that kind of very worldly wisdom, the better we'll face the big moments, because we'll have handled the details of life with seriousness, with patience, with appreciation, gratitude for one step at a time. Let's go, friends. Let's have a good day. Let's make today a good one step at a time. Thanks, Barbara. Bless you, friends. See you tomorrow.